Hello and welcome to today's content of in-depth turn-by-turn analyzing what the AI is going to be doing for each team that for a match I'm going to pick. I'll be showing off only one match today, unfortunately, but it will be very detailed and focused on looking at how the units are reacting. This video might be a bit lengthy on the one match, so please bear with me in terms of the length, and let's get started. So let's look at the team setups. For the attacking team, we can see that the Ildria is looking to focus on dealing as much damage as possible with the Soul of Phasma, as we see, and the zombie TMR, because it'll give her a second win or a second life there. Her Xmas vision card is also giving her a huge personal damage bonus, like magic. It also helps with the AoE resistance for everyone in her party, so that's pretty good there. So moving on to Dwayne, we can see that the Nagra Rock is used instead of Lizalia's sword. And since this guild map particularly has accuracy up, Dwayne doesn't have to worry too much about accuracy. So the missing accuracy from Lizalia means that the reason they're using Nagra Rock is probably for the 15/tech up for more damage. With bells on as well, it looks like Dwayne will be running in first and spamming abilities. His Esper of choice looks to be Demon Wall, which is a bit of a more defensive Esper in regards to slashing in dark or even light if they went the light resistance. With his own vision card, he'll be hitting very hard while helping Kane with his attack up percent and the team with magic resistance as well, which is actually kind of useless here unfortunately, but it's good flex in general if a different team with magic were to hit them. Moving on to Kane, he has Oldoro's Apron to achieve that 70% armor penetration, and with Odin as the Esper of choice, he is focusing probably on the human killer and either missile or slash resistance to help push what resistance in general matchups in the map. So with Demon Wall as the vision card, he not only gains immense personal damage himself, he also gives his team pierce damage, which only Dwayne and he can use unfortunately. Unless the Dwayne doesn't go Dragoon, then it doesn't matter, but the slash resistance also helps a lot, so it's quite relevant in a lot of the matchups. As we can see, the defending team has two slashers. For the defending team, we can see that Dwayne here is focused on dealing damage. With the Cecil TMR, he can give his teammates attack percent up. With the two-headed Dragon Esper, if he chooses Dark Killer and Slash Attack, he can get some insane offensive bonuses like Odin against certain types. It does have a lot of attack nodes as well as Slash Attack or even Dark Killer. He can do a lot of damage. With the Diabolos vision card as well, he's giving himself and Kane a lot of dart attack up, but unfortunately the card does nothing for Agrius, but it will give himself and Kane a lot of damage. We can see Kane here is also using Ribbon to possibly prevent himself from being slowed or stopped from low base abilities, like low base chances from abilities. And he's using Glaciella's TMR for the AP generation here. With the Odin Esper, he will also be much faster and have the human killer bonus, and then choose from defensive panels, or even the slash attack up if he decides to go Viking or Paladin, like for the Taunting Blade or Blade Bash, even though most people usually don't. Lastly, he's using the Odin Vision card, which will give his team single target resistance. Will actually stack with Agrius' master ability, so Dragon Raids from enemy Kanes will actually probably not be used, and it will prioritize either LB or Brain Piercer much higher. The last unit we see here is Agrius with a Sortilege, which she can choose from either Shield or Barrier for either 12 defense or 12 spirit. With the bells, we can see that Agrius is going to be like doing most of the ability spamming, and we might see an LB here and there, or she might be spamming Taunting Blade. We'll have to see how it goes. Agrius also has the Golem Esper on. While it is slower, she does have bells, so it will help her keep up to date on the speed, and Agrius herself is already like much faster than most of the other units in this in the showing in the attack and defending teams, so it'll be fine with that. With the Golem Esper, it's possible to get the Pierce in the defensive nodes mostly, which is what it's known for, but it's also small chance to get the human killer nodes. It'll depend on if the Agrius is built for more damage or not. Looking at the build though, it looks like she's a bit more on the defensive side. The vision card will be Val Love to help with the aggro in the matchup with the hate, and it gives her a party attack percent up, which is good. It benefits all of them because they're all physically a bit attack damage based. So looking at these two matchups, it's technically a 3v3 DPS matchup. Whoever does the most damage or basically gets the most of the combos or like kills will probably win in this, because one side is trying to cover, the attacking side is trying to cover as many resistances while focusing on personal benefit vision cards, while the other team is going a little bit more for a mixed party ish mix and match party abilities to an extent, mostly with the Diabolos and the Odin. Val also helps, so it's more a party mix and match because Diabolos doesn't help Agrius, but everything else helps each other in some way or some form. So without further ado, let's get into the video. See what happens. So Agrius here, if she doesn't have party abilities on or AoE buffs on, she will use bells because she had bells on here, or Saintly Wall or Sentinel. But because she has bells, there's a high chance she'll just use bells first and then move in. So you have to revitalize. The Kayn has Oldoran's Apron. We'll either use Oldoran's Apron or Guts depending on which one has higher priority. If Oldoran's Apron is not maxed or Kayn does not have 50 faith, he will use Guts first instead. We see here, okay, he used Guts first. The middle spirit is Guts. I just call it Guts because that's what happens when you hit them and it procs. So that's what I go by. Sorry if there's like any confusion. So he moves up. Enemy Kayn here had Glacialis TMR. He should be using Glacialis TMR here. If not, he will also use Guts. We'll have to see which one. If Glacialis TMR is not high enough level, just like Oldoran's Apron, he will not prioritize it. As we see here, got the 17 AP up from it. That means it's level 17 at the TMR out of 20, meaning it was high enough for the enemy Kayn to prioritize it. This Kayn had bells, but if he has Atonement on or a party buff on, he will use that as well. But I think he will use bells instead and doesn't have a party buff on because it makes sense for bells users to use bells and just go in basically. So as we see, he used Revitalize. And they're in position right now for Eldria to LB. This will be perfect for her. Unless she doesn't have it on, then she'll use her Zombie TMR. Because Zombie TMR also has pretty high priority in being used. As we see here, she does decide to LB them. So now they have a better turn order. They'll get it before these guys can move again. Even if these guys moved first, or in any case, well, Agrius did at least, because the CT gauge went up with Eldria's LB. So Dwayne here, as we see, is starting to move. That means he probably has a party buff on with Cecil's TMR, or he'll use Atonement for Agrius here, or even Kayn. But looking at it, 1, 2, 3, 4, he cannot reach Kayn, so he'll go here and use Atonement or Cecil's TMR. If Cecil's TMR is not high enough level, he will not prioritize it, or he has Cecil's TMR turned off, so we'll see. Boom, Atonement. So this is good. It gives them both slash attack up as well as Dwayne more defense penetration, so he's now at 40%, which is is much better than 20% in comparison. So from here, since Kayn used Guts earlier, he should either use Oldoran's Apron here or the attack and agility debuff. I mean, not debuff, buff, which is like nothing to fear or something. I forgot what it's called for him. Boom. Okay, so he does use Oldoran's Apron. He'll move up. So now Dwayne has a turn. Since we saw he does not have party buffs on, he can still have access to Dark Mantle, or if he has the Dragoon sub, Dragoon Standard, Dragonskin. If he has Viking sub job, he can use Rebellious Spirit here as well. It depends on what the setup is for this Dwayne, so we'll see. Because none of these guys are in range as of yet, because the Kayn's up here on height 3 difference, and Magic Infuse, which is the next best height ability that Dwayne has. He cannot actually hit him unless he was here, but 1, 2, 3, 4, he cannot hit the Kayn, so he's gonna have to use a buff here. As we see, Dark Mantle moves up. So Eldria here will now use either the Zombie TMR, or if she has Resist Magic on, or one of the buffs on, but yeah. So she uses the mask. We have a problem here, because as we just saw right here, now it's Agrius' turn. These two are lined up perfectly for her LB if she has it on, and since it's confusion, it can be very devastating, or it depends entirely on what this Agrius' setup is on. If she has Taunting Blade on, that will favor Dwayne a little bit, because that means he will get hit by a Taunting Blade instead of confusion for both of these, because they're in range, because her Tendescent Hue is at 5 range. So we'll see first, now I'll explain. So she does move up. This will be Condensant Hue. There is a small chance that Dwayne can get confused, but he still can get confused. But Kayn definitely has a higher chance if this Agrius is at max phase, so we'll see what happens. They both get hit. Kayn gets confused. Okay, so here's a bad problem. if we're looking at the turn order, because this Dwayne still has hate, he has 3 hate right now because he got hit once from Agris, so he's now at 3 hate. The Kane has to hit this Dwayne again, and then this Dwayne has to hit him again, and he'll be down to he'll be at 0 hate, and then this Kane can get hit. Because he's confused right now, he can attack this Dwayne on his turn order or this Ildria, but we'll have to see what happens since we still have Kane and Dwayne to go. Since it's Kane's turn and this Dwayne still has hate, he'll either use Dragon Raid or Piercing Lance, because as we saw earlier, this Ildria has the AoE resistance, meaning Brain Piercer and I guess it would mostly be Brain Piercer, and then his LB will not be used because it'll do less damage in general, so we'll have to see here what happens. Moves back, Dragon Raid. Okay, so from here, because Dwayne already got hit by some chip damage, if the Dragon Raid hits before his turn on this Dwayne's turn order, which it looks like it will because it looks like he's going to get another turn already, that means the CT gauge for Dwayne right now is low, meaning the jump will probably hit. This Dwayne has a turn right after, and if they chain, has a high chance of killing. So let's see. So, okay, so yeah, Dragon Raid hit right away, 2,961, which is going to be very big. I'm pretty sure this Dwayne, because he used Atonement, can kill this Dwayne now. We'll have to see in the next turn. Rising Twilight probably, yup. So 2,400, it used the cheapest ability it could to finish off the kill. And now this Dwayne still has 31 AP left. He can still use Magic Infuse, Darkness, or another Rising Twilight. So let's see. So this Dwayne's dead. So as we said before, since this Kane is confused, he could walk back and attack Ildria, or walk forward and attack Dwayne. It will only be auto attacks because of confusion, it won't be skills. Preferably in this situation, if I was on this attacking team, I would want Kane to go back and auto attack Ildria so Ildria can heal. Because if he moves up, if you look at the turn order, after his turn, Ildria is going to have to move up and try to save him or like hit, but it won't be able to because he's in the way. Agris, Kane, and Dwayne all have a turn order together, so that will pretty much clean up the match if that happens. So let's see. Kane moves back. Okay, so this is good. This is good because the enemy Kane is far away, cannot hit this Kane at all. Agris is 1, 2, 3. Okay, that is a 3 range difference. She cannot use Taunting Blade, so that means Agris can't hit either. Okay, this is also kind of bad because if Kane's still confused by the time they get there, this is really bad. But if the Dwayne 1, 2, 3, he has enough AP for Magic Infuse, can hit Kane. If he does that before the next turn order, that's actually really favorable. As long as Ildria doesn't die here, which he shouldn't theoretically, because auto attacks I don't think will kill Ildria in one go. Maybe, we'll have to see. They did have the attack percent bonus and the piercing up. Okay, crit for 2,700. Thank goodness she didn't die. The good part is Ildria's AI will see the HP are low for both of them and heal, basically. So that's what's gonna happen. Okay, so now, as I said, Agris is not in range. She'll either use Sentinel or Saintly Wall here. We'll have to see. She decides to Sentinel and move up. She's not in range of Taunting Blade because the range is height 3 to hit the enemy Kane. I mean the attacking Kane right now, but Taunting Blade's max is 2, so it won't hit it. The Kane here as well, since he used Glaciala's TMR first, he will either use Guts here or the Do Not Fear ability, because we know he does not have any team buffs on. So here we go, Guts. Okay, there we go, moves up. The Dwayne is definitely in range for Magic Infuse and can hit him, or even Darkness as well. So because they have the AoE on the resistance as well as Magic Infuse doing more damage, he'll use Magic Infuse here, high chance. Boom. Okay, so Magic Infuse happens. Oh, dang, 4,000, that's actually a lot of damage. The AP break is also relevant because Kane has Oldoran's Apron on, which does not give you a lot of AP. It gives you some AP, but not a lot. The 20 AP break was big. However, the Kane auto-attacked his own Ildria with the critical hit, giving him the extra AP. So, the AP break was important. He's at 68 AP right now. He gets a little bit more from the Oldoran's Apron. So in this position, as we know, the enemy team had Odin Vision card on, and some certain spear abilities are affected by Odin actually directly. If they don't have multiple like yellow panels in the skill ability itself, that's what happens. It's treated as a single target hit. If they do have multiple yellow panels, it's treated as AoE. So from here, this Kane is either gonna run up and do Brain Piercer, or it will do the LB, because those are both AoE related, and he has enough AP for it. So we'll see. Okay, moves down. From here, at minimum, it will hit either Dwayne or Agris, and I say this because they both have hate. As we saw earlier, he had move 4. That means he has Swift Shadow on, and Agris had Vow of Love on, and neither of them has been hit yet. So that means it will either hit both of these right here, both of them, or it will go here and hit both of these because it'll do more damage to this Kane maybe, because he has less defense. So we'll see. Okay, so the AoE damage does go off. That's a big slow on Agris. This is good. This means now she has less hate. That means Dwayne will be a little bit more focused if he's at 5 hate still. But it makes sense for the AoE damage. So it makes sense. We'll have to see what keeps happening. We'll just roll the tape. So Ildre goes for the heal here, which is good and bad because this Kane does have AP, but unless he procs the guts, like he has to proc guts if Agris wants to finish him off, basically. So, and Agris cannot reach Ildre. She's on a very high platform. The range difference is huge. We'll see here, Piercing Lance. Okay, so it does proc. This is very good for the attacking team now. I mean the defending team, because now that I proc, Agris can finish him off easily, and this might look like a cleanup. She does still have the zombie TMR, and they all have no magic resistance, but if we look for the next turn order, that means Dwayne should be next before she can move, because since Kane attacked now, that means this turn order is going to disappear, and since he's going to die from Agrius, it should disappear as well. Okay, that is not what I expected. The counterattack reaction proc the Courage on this Kane. This means if Agris kills this Kane and then moves up right here because of the move 3, this is going to be huge because they're both low HP. Ildria can definitely punish these two, and since this Dwayne does not have any he doesn't have any spirit or magic resist from his build, as we saw earlier, that means he can take heavy damage too. I don't know if this Dwayne, however, can 1v1 this Ildria, mostly because she has Diabolos, which has a chance that she did get the slash resistance, but she also got the Demon Wall Esper on her. I mean, not Esper, the Vision card on her team, so she does get a little bit more slash resist. So we'll have to keep seeing. Should be North Swain Swipe or something. North Swain or auto attack even. She did not move up here. She just stayed down there. So now the enemy Dwayne should move. He did use Magic Infuse earlier on the Kane over here. He shouldn't have AP. He might just run up. Okay, Atonement, because he can't get into range. So now he does have AP 22. I don't think that's enough for Magic Infuse. I think Magic Infuse is 24. Ildria should actually maybe clean this up. We'll have to see. So I think since it's her turn next, Holy or yeah, Water. So there we go. 2,600, 2,500, 1,800. The chip damage was enough for these two to die. Dwayne lives. Dwayne can maybe still kill Ildria in one hit. We saw earlier he did 4,100 damage to the Kane. That means he's very strong slash here, as we saw his build was. Against Dark at least, because he has two-headed dragon. We'll have to see. Does the Rising Twilight kill her? We'll see. Boom. Okay, so 4,900. Okay, wow. He does a lot of damage because of the Atonement buff. Okay, that's a lot of damage. Because he didn't use Magic Infuse, however, she can revive and get another turn. But it will depend if she can kill him in time, which I think she should. If the AoE did half his damage, I mean half his HP with the Water Gut, I think the Holy Height should be able to kill him. Okay, there we go. So the Holy Height does actually work and wins. Wow, that is a very close battle. So basically what happened, because the enemy team has no magic resist, but took enough chip damage from the Kane earlier on this team, the zombie TMR helped Ildria barely clutch it out. However, as we saw earlier, the Dwayne went in way too fast on this team and just basically suicided for a free kill. I have to say it's very lucky this even happened, because the Kane also auto-attacking Ildria earlier when he's confused gave him probably enough AP to actually LB. I'm not 100% sure. I would have to double check the math on there, but from that alone, you could see that this was a very close fight, and it was definitely favored towards the other team after the Dwayne went down. But zombie TMR and the grouping up right here on the positioning with the counterattack lance, which was huge. If that did not happen, that means the Kane is still alive and would finish off Ildria after she got revived. So this was very a close fight. And we've come to the end of the video. Once again, thanks you guys for watching, and if you like this type of analysis, let me know in the comments, like and subscribe, and I'll try to put out more videos. It just depends if I have time or not off of work. But anyways, until the next video, peace out.